Hi, my name is Jabran. Welcome once again to Action Reaction. Thank you guys. Thank you for your love and support. Thank you for your comments. It really means a lot to me when you participate, when you contribute your ideas, things you think, and also the appreciation, of course. A lot of people have messaged me that they're subscribed after my last message when I requested everybody who watches the videos to please subscribe. A lot of them have done so, and really thank you. A big shout out to you guys. Well, I've been doing a lot of music videos lately, and in fact ever since I started, and that was an amazing thing to do. But then I realized there's something else that also needs to be tended to. And today's video is going to be the first of its kind. It is something informational. It is something that is very important for everybody to know. It is something that we should be aware of, and it is irregardless of what faith you have your belief in. It's something essential to protect yourself. It's a video where a Russian sorcerer, a witchcraft practitioner, she reveals a part of sorcery or magic or sihr, as we say it in Arabic, and how it works on people and why it doesn't work on people. So let's get down to the video and find out ourselves. But just before that, let's hit the intro.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. I hope you are well. Welcome to an eye-opening video. It's not the eyes that are blind, but it's our hearts. What's your understanding of black magic? Do you think it exists? Does it have any impact? We as Muslims know that it exists.
Yeah.
It works. It's done for jealousy. It's done to cause separation between man and his wife. It's done for so many other evil reasons.
True.
It's selling akhirah for a cheaper price. Worst deal and deed one can ever actually encounter. It's known as sihr in Arabic. I'm sure there's a word for it in every language. If you wonder where did this actually come up from, Quran tells us about it in Surah Baqarah verse 102.
Oh, this is so important. Gives you the source, gives you what's the misperception of this. Let me pause this. So it starts with Hazrat Sulaiman alayhi salam and the misconception a lot of people have about Hazrat Sulaiman alayhi salam in association with magic or sihr. The source of magic, where it comes from, the devilish content, how did it come down to earth? So it's a full unfolding in Surah Baqarah and verse number 102. This itself is a full in-depth concept, source and effect and consequence of participating in magic in any which way. And as Muslims, you all believe in that thoroughly, without a battle of a doubt. Reasons mentioned here, this is not limited to just this, but there's more to it. All right. See what people are going to lose if they participate in this.
Ancient Babylon is very interesting to read and understand. All the magic that exists today somehow will go back to Babylon. There's zero benefit with black magic. Coming straight to the point, see this video. It made me speechless for a moment.
Does it mean that it's more difficult to influence a person if he keeps his thoughts in purity?
Yes, absolutely. When faced with various religions, it is very difficult to influence Muslims. They are in a constant connection with the egregore. They do namaz every day and read prayers on a daily basis. They are constantly under some kind of a dome, so it is very difficult to influence them. When you start impacting a person, he begins to address in a prayer. Indeed, many of them are very different from those who come to church only when everything is bad in their life. They come to pray and then for 5 years they forget about God, some canons, and so on. Muslims, as a rule, passionately believe and passionately give energy to their egregore, and this egregore protects them very well. That's why it is very difficult to work to make any kind of influence on a true Muslim believer.
Is this some kind of a good egregore?
Well, for them, yes. This egregore is good for adepts who contribute good energy to it.
How do you sense it? For instance, you have found an energy trace of such person. What's next? Do you try to drag him somehow to visualize this threat and you fail? Or how do you do that?
It disappears. I cannot get a grip on it. I focus on it, but something immediately knocks me out of the flow, just like that. Or I visualize a person in front of me clearly and can affect him even at a mental level, but some image is not created in my mind at all. I even look at a photo, reproduce an image, but it vanishes from my mind. Thus, I can clearly see that a person is covered with something.
Oh wow.
Does this only work with Muslims?
It does for me.
Okay, I gotta pause here. So couple of really essential points she made. So it tells us a few things off the bat, off the cuff. How she participates in witchcraft, or what's the method that she uses in order to affect or cast a spell, or whatever you want to call it, cast magic. She has to visualize a person, and once she visualizes the person who she wants to affect, she plants those thoughts in her mind so she can visualize that effect happening to that person. This is how the people get affected. I don't know what else the mechanics are, but apparently so that's what it looks like. So for the Muslims, she says specifically that there's an egregore. It's more like a dome. If you watch this full video, you'll see it's like a dome that protects Muslims, people with faith, people with iman, people with real belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So she says whenever she tries to affect them, that egregore, that the word she's used, and please do let me know what it means, because I literally have no idea about what it is or what their concepts of egregore are, but apparently whatever it is, it's still a dome of protection by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, could be by the angels. We know it from quite a few ahadith, how the angels will protect us and guard the Muslims, but people of faith, people of iman, mu'mineen, I believe is the reference there, not just muslimin. So, and she's also saying people, Muslims who are mu'min, who have a belief in Allah and who generate that kind of energy and power that feeds the egregore, or say strengthens that shield. And when she visualizes those people, she get either disoriented or she completely loses the image of the person before she's able to start, or she is not able to focus at all. And even if she takes an aid of, say, a picture of a person and tries to have a mental imagery of the thing that she's seeing or the person she's seeing, she cannot hold that image for it to work. So she gets distracted, or it just kind of vanishes away. In certain cases, it does not even appear in her head. So she says that's how hard it becomes to affect a Muslim, a mu'min specifically. That's very interesting. And I've got more things to say about that, but later.
Subhanallah. Hannah Hushnir, a Russian sorcerer, reveals her experience of practicing witchcraft on Muslims, the kind of contrast she mentioned other faiths with Islam. We say Islam is true. We know it's the ultimate truth. How many of us actually live by it? Salah. Salah is the key. The moment you fix Salah, many things in your life get fixed. In fact, it fixes your entire life with knowledge and practice. Inshallah, the kind of protection it offers us from magic is told by this woman. Sometimes we are too lazy to pray, or we are busy with the meeting, cooking food. All of a sudden it's Salah time. How are we looking at it? Consider it as a meeting, the most important meeting, and pour your heart into it. Inshallah, declutter from dunya. It's not worth it, O our Salah. Subhanallah, this video is an eye-opener. This is a non-Muslim woman saying it. She's not going to get anything in return by manifesting the truth about our faith. May Allah guide her. The dome she was talking about is the protection from Allah. Defeat shaitan, brothers and sisters. If you fail and sin again, repent. Your Lord is the most merciful. Sadaqah averts calamity. Similarly,
absolutely.
Salah, this is a priceless gift from our Lord,
Absolutely.
which is not just protection from magic, it's rewarding. It's the key to Jannah. So let's start praying. May Allah make us steadfast and keep us under His protection. Ameen.
Jazakallah.
That's it for today, brothers and sisters. I hope you liked the video. Let us know your
Okay, so essentially a few important aspects that I picked out from the video were she did mention a contrast between Muslims and Christians, but I think that was perhaps not a fair contrast. Of course, he was just trying to explain. Muslims go for a prayer 5 times a day at least. That's the fard. It's a bare minimum we have to. Christians usually go once a week to the church Sundays, right? And she was drawing a contrast between a very practicing Muslim with a lot of faith, a mu'min, versus a non-Muslim. She chose Christians who do not even go to the church and only go it when they need something, or they have gone through a life's challenge. I think it might not be limited to that, but the whole point is it is not to discriminate between Muslims or non-Muslims or Christians or Jews. The point is that if you are a person of faith, and you are not just a person of faith, you are a practitioner of that faith with wholeheartedness, with the goodness that the religion has to offer, and you keep yourself away from a lot of those vulnerabilities which make you prone to be a victim of magic, you will be safe. We as Muslims believe and know that all the prophets that were sent before us brought the same message. They were Muslims. And even if I just do not say the word that they were Muslims, it's still the same. The message was the same. Worship the one and only true God. And so even if somebody who believes in the original scriptures and an undistorted message of their faith, and by that I'm specifically referring to the Christians and the Jews included in this, and they are practitioners of their faith and they believe in it, I think they would have the same kind of protection. I have also heard a lot of people saying that who do not believe or in God or a religion or are atheists, that good deeds is the key to get the best out of the world. Yes, good deeds it matters, but it's limited in its own context. Moralities, ethics, and good practices for helping people and being nice and kind and generous and responsible is an essential part, but it is not the entire part of the purpose of life. That dome is indication of a few things here. So the first indicator that I think is that there is a supernatural world around us, and humans are kept separate from that. Our senses do not have the capability to even see that, rather than let alone interfere. So as we need to have some sort of a protective element in that realm of world where we can safeguard ourselves from that evil. in the world we cannot see. That comes from a few things. She mentions very categorically how doing prayers basically enriches that egregore or strengthens that egregore or that dome, which helps them to protect themselves, and she or other magicians, sorcerers, or witchcraft practitioners cannot penetrate that. That's one. The other thing that I completely understand and also correlates with the Muslim concepts is so whenever somebody does or if somebody's influenced by magic or seher, the thing that we know as Muslims we do is the break of that thing through ruqya. Now these ruqya practitioners in Islam, they do a very dangerous task. It's not easy, and it can lead them into trouble themselves. So in order to protect themselves, the people who do ruqya, they try to stay away from every sin possible. They have to be more conscious and aware than other people. They also have to stay in wudu. So the cleaner you are, hygiene and cleanliness and purity, these are one of the elements, not all, but one of the elements by which that dome or egregore stays intact. Apart from that, your practicing of your beliefs is also equally important. Salah is one more thing. She specifically mentioned namaz. I don't know how she mentioned namaz, because it's a translation. The conversation happening between the interviewer and Zahana Khoshnir is in Russian. So, but it is very, very specifically indicative of doing salah. Salah, my friends, is, yeah, it is something that is going to save you here and after. So, and Surah Baqarah's one last thing. Surah Baqarah, ayat number 102, clearly indicates people who participate in such a activity, what the consequence is, and we don't want to lose that. We don't want to lose the biggest blessing, the biggest gift what mankind is born for. So my friends, keep praying and remember me in your prayers. That means a lot to me. Well, till the next video, you take care, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye bye.